ASMR. Today we're going to be doing another comic book haul, and of course, as always, I've got a few of these little black boxes to show off with a few collectibles and a couple other things on the side. So we're just going to get right into it, starting with my most favorite. So we have Wolverine Revenge. This is number 2. And this just started a month ago. And the main reason for the pickup is because Capullo is doing the art. And, just kind of fun being off the heels of the Deadpool Wolverine movie and all that good stuff. So the book opens on a somber note here, kind of just seeing the sacrifice of all the people who did Nick Fury's bidding here and what it got them, So Wolverine's just kind of calling Nick Fury out on his BS and just kind of charting his own path to how he wants to handle the situation here. And I think it's more or less going to be kind of like a hit list of Wolverine's like most famous villains, and he's pretty much going after them and killing them, is my understanding. This is cool here. We've got 3 of the demon bears. I thought there was just one. And we see some Forge interaction here. But yeah, I look forward to this. This is a really neat story. This is a fun little thing that happens here. They dig up Magneto's corpse here, and they utilize part of it in an interesting way here. So, but I'm not gonna go any further with that one. Next, we have the Lobo cancellation special number 1. And this is just kind of a one-shot. And it has this great Simon Bisley cover on it here. She's one of the OGs to work on Lobo. So I couldn't pass up. This was the last of the variant covers they had there too, so I lucked out. And yeah, it's fun artwork here. Very just kind of brutal and dark. Lots of dismemberment, violence, etc., here. And yeah, it's just kind of the standard Lobo sort of stories that you expect. And this is just one, I think it's like a 64-page special. And yeah, it had good pacing and everything. This actually felt like I got my money's worth with it. The art was good, the story kept my interest. Yeah, I recommend it. If you like Lobo, you'll like this. As an ongoing crude joke throughout. Next we have Detective Comics number 1089. And this is the final issue of the crazy Batman opera stuff. As I said, fun, interesting story. I just don't know where it fits in anything, and I'm kind of a stickler for that sort of stuff, so. But it's nice this finally wrapped up. And lots of good artwork in it, a lot of interesting moments. There's a lot of like little villain spotlight vignettes in here. Let me see if I can get to some of them here. And all these series arcs are kind of wrapping because they're getting ready for DC's all-in event. Yeah, we see Batman confront Professor Crane here to give him that classic freak out of what Crane sees Batman as. We have some stuff here with Mr. Freeze and Two-Face. I still don't remember what this thing is called. And there's some Catwoman there. But yeah, nice fun little wrap up, lots of good artwork. And we have Action Comics number 1069. And yeah, this is the last part of this story. It's just like another kind of gladiator, spectator sort of scenario with Superman. And he goes up against, a big monstrous being who is of course brutal, killer, etc., etc. And he's got to solve things the way Superman always has to solve them, kind of honorably. So it's a character piece. And then there's this random, like, Lois and Clark talking backup story, which I really don't. I mean, it's nice to kind of spotlight Lois and Clark's relationship. But this whole backup is just literally them talking. Then we have Superman number 18. It's a absolute power tie-in. It's Zatanna and Superman kind of going on a voyage to get her powers back. And it comes up where at one point Clark just flippantly is just like, I hate magic, it's so unpredictable, there's no control over it, I'm useless against it, all this type of stuff. And Zatanna becomes frustrated with Clark because she's just like, yeah, outside of your powers, you're still Kal-El, you're still Clark, you're still all these things, but my life literally is my magic powers, so without that I pretty much have no life. So she kind of presses on with the urgency of trying to get her powers back. Just kind of a good vulnerable moment. For her. Then we have World's Finest, number 31. And we see some fun with Eclipso here. Now I am bummed because Dan Mora is still not doing the art on this series currently, which I believe is because his efforts are being directed towards the Absolute Power miniseries. But the colorist is the same, so they kind of maintain the feel of the series through that. And the line work is pretty clean, albeit different than Dan's work, obviously, but it still doesn't pull you out from kind of the consistency that this series has had. So spin-offs for the Ninja Turtles, still keeping the ongoing continuity of the previous 150, yet kind of giving more branching out points to follow the story, rather than just trying to contain it into one ongoing book. They're trying to push like the mutant side out into its own book, and then, all the other stuff in their own books, respectively. And of course, trying to maximize their profits, because that's really what it's all about. So we have two stories here in the backup. You see a story featuring Casey Jones by my favorite modern turtle artist, Matthias Sanluco. As I've mentioned previously, I feel like his style has gotten better. I think he's working digitally now, maybe. There's just something about it that's popping differently than when he started. Which, I mean, I enjoyed it then. But I can see that it's definitely evolving as he's doing more work here. And then there's the Saturday Morning Adventures number 17. And they're back to the other artist who doesn't do the work that looks like the cartoon, like screenshots, which is unfortunate, but the story is still okay. It reminds me of, you'll see in a minute, but it seems like it's really written to be like a Halloween story with this mummy guy here. So yeah, nice fun story. And I think it just continues out of here, like this is a cliffhanger that it leaves it on. Which, by the way, apparently there's more DLC for the Turtles, the new Turtles side-scroller, the Shredder's Revenge game. It's like Reptile Rampage or whatever, so I think you can play as it Venus or Mona Lisa? I forget now at this moment, it's so funny. But you can play as her, and I believe Mondo Gecko and some others as well. Now I gotta look. Yeah, Mona Lisa. That's what I thought. Okay. Then I was fortunate enough to find the new Cyborg figure that just came out, which I was happy to get this. The gun does come on and off, by the way. But I was happy to get this because I was trying to do the Build-A-Figure one, and like 2 out of the figures were too hard to find, one being like the classic Flash, and then the other one was just one that didn't show up much. But I like this one because it's more in scale with the other Teen Titans that I already have, so this will go along on the shelf. They're all facing off against Deathstroke, posed on my shelf. So this version of him will fit better where he's not towering over the others. And then I found another of the new Ninja Turtles toys. This is Mustang Sally. So it's got like all little swappable pieces and stuff like that. And yeah, there's a few others on here too. You got Pigeon Pete I'm still looking for. Lee the Eel, Goldfin, and then there's another figure too from like the school ones that they put out. And then I still need Ray Fillet as well. So this was something fun that my brother had when I was a kid. This was after the death of Superman. And it was like a fake magazine they made. So it's just like lots of Easter eggs. Even the address on the bottom is Clark Kent's address, if you can see. So there's ads for products just spotting different images and being like, oh, I think this is this artist's work and stuff like that. And there's like a GBS Saturday morning cartoon ad in there when Jimmy was Turtle Boy up there. Yeah, there's the Soda Cola ad there. I thought this was interesting. They had an alternate shot of Lois holding Superman Clark here when he dies. It still says that Jimmy took this picture, though. If you look on the credits, it says James Olsen right there. But I know he took pictures from the other side, so what did he run around to her back to take that shot? I think that was kind of odd. I thought when I first saw that they were going to have that credited to a different photographer. Although I guess maybe he is taking the picture, because I remember seeing him in the background whenever she's crying. So it was showing us the shot that he couldn't get, maybe. And then of course some of the images from the book there as well. I thought this was funny too. There's no way that they would print this in like a, publication here. This would be like, redacted, restricted photos doing an autopsy of Doomsday. And then there's all these little blurbs, people reacting to Superman's death there. And then they throw a few celebrities in there. We have William Shatner in there, Penn Jillette. I know Shaquille O'Neal's in there. John Goodman. All sorts of random things. So, but not terribly long, but just kind of a fun little side note. This came out on Batman Day, so they actually reprinted the Detective Comics first appearance in the normal print size when it released, which I actually don't remember it being this large, but that's how they marketed this. So I think this is like someone's archival scans because of how dirty the paper is, maybe. So if they did that, that's pretty crazy. So we see all the other stories in here, and of course Batman's one is kind of up front, and it's even not that long. It's maybe like 6 pages, if that. The Ace Chemical thing here, yeah. So it's just right here. So pretty cool. This gives you even more of a feeling as if you're holding, that first appearance in your hands. And we're brave enough to read it, So pretty cool. Yeah, the case of the Chemical Syndicate. I actually got on my previous haul, but as you saw, I had so much stuff in that haul that it just kind of got lost in the shuffle. So I've always wanted this, and this is a reprint as well. I've never read this, but this is fun. I love the last image too of them shaking hands here. But this was just kind of a cool moment in comics, Get some highly detailed Neil Adams work. Just doing what he does. And the scale of this book is huge, it's like the newspaper size pages. Like 11 by 17. And I just love when he's like, just kind of dead on with his facials. When he actually makes his drawings look like like the celebrities. Which sometimes with technology now it's not as impressive, but when Neil did it back in the day, it was a lot more just kind of inspiring. You know, be like, wow, that really looks like so and so, you know. So yeah, just a lot of fun. And then the cover is a double page spread here, and he's got tons of celebrities here, and there's a little chart inside to identify who everyone is. Next we have the House of Secrets reprint here, number 92. This is Swamp Thing's first appearance. And I just love that they've just really gotten wise to the fans wanting to own these facsimiles, because like I said, this is a great way to get the story. You get all the ads and everything, and you get to read it like one-to-one, although the printing is much brighter, etc., etc., because it's not the low-grade paper. But I do commend them. This is that use like paper stock they're using in these ones. And then of course, you know, it's not a full-on, like, it's done. Right there, he's out of there, and then the rest are just kind of more horror stories here. But yeah, pretty cool regardless. And then speaking of Titans, we have the Judas Contract. Tales of the Teen Titans number 44. This is Nightwing's first costume appearance, Jericho's first costume appearance, and then Deathstroke's origin in here. And yeah, another facsimile as well. And we've got, yeah, there's their costume appearance there. And yeah, just solid artwork, classic stuff. Lots of drama and action. Quality stuff all around. And just really cool experience if you haven't. And I just love this ad. I, grew up with the Toys ones, but I know most of those were just kind of copies of the previous Superpowers run. They used a lot of the same molds, but yeah. And then we got the Batman Elmer Fudd reprint one-shot. And this one they had done like years ago, where they had Looney Tunes interacting with different DC characters. And they played this, except for the back here. The back is zany, but the main story, they play it straight. They're like, what if Elmer Fudd was a real character here? So they play it straight, like in Batman's Gotham here. And the art is very serious. The tone is very serious. And it's great. I love it. And I missed out on it the first time it came around, so I was happy that they reissued it, and then they issued a black and white version of this too. But I figured I'd go with the color because I like the color version a lot too. And then there's some more Batman Day giveaways here. So this is the Wayne Family Adventures, which this is written more for like preteens, kind of trying to chase like the whole manga as you can see here. So the tone is very light with that one. And then we have Joker the World preview, and I need to get, this is a full trade, and this is just kind of like a taste sampler of it, kind of like when they did the Batman the World. Same premise, artists from all over the world doing Joker-centric stories. So all sorts of different places, and there's just different styles. And it's cool, I love anthologies, so I've got to check out the full book and read it. But yeah, this is just a little sampler. There's the Batman one with the Bermejo cover. And then they actually released a full special trade for this too. They have the last Halloween coming out, and so they wanted to remind everyone of the traditional storyline here, the Long Halloween Tim Sale, Jeff Loeb classic. So this reprints the first chapter, which honestly I should do a reading of this story on the channel. I'm bummed towards the back. They've got like the coloring is slightly off, so you get like the little white thinning lines. I think they call that aliasing, I believe. I can't remember the exact name of it. But I love in the back here, it's got recommended Batman readings, which I have most of these, but there's still some of these I need to pick up, so I should honestly consult this and see if there's a few more Batman trades I need to put on my shelf. So, but yeah, I think it's cool they did that. I love when they kind of point to great storylines here. And then finally I got the Harley and Ivy trade, which this takes place in the Batman animated universe, obviously. And they've got all the other series except for the Gotham Adventures collected. But a little inappropriate for a kid's comic there, but they're kind of always skirting it with this type of stuff anyway. But yeah, so this collects like the Harley and Ivy miniseries and then a few other Harley and Ivy stories, and they've got these great Bruce Timm painted covers in here. So I haven't read these 1 through 3 here. Oh goodness. I'm surprised they put that in there, but like I said, they were always just kind of pushing the envelope with the comics because they could do more things in the comic than they could in the cartoon. So yeah, the reprints from the winter special, this was what they turned for the first episode of the Batman Adventures on Kids WP. When they take Bruce out, take him shopping against his will and max out all of his cards. And then we have a Batman and Robin story here. This is number 8, I believe, where they enslave Robin with Ivy's kiss. And then we have a short story from the Batgirl one-shot they put out, which I've read that before. And then there's another little, this is a mini, like not even 5-page story, I don't even know where it's from. And then this doesn't even fit the tone. I don't know why that's in there at all. And then they have some essentials checklist in here too. I guess that this came out kind of recently, which I didn't realize, because I saw they've got some of the more newer stories collected in the back here. These ones here. So, yeah. But that's gonna do it for now. Let me know if you saw something you really liked in this video, if you picked up something you want me to maybe check out. As always, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. And as always, you all have a super slumber.